Good evening. You are welcome again in the zoology class organized by Society of Carrier Technology. On the last turn we were talking about male reproductive system. Now we will talk about female reproductive system. In female we have two ovaries which produce the female gamete, and here the ovum has to take two responsibilities. One, meiosis to form haploid ovum, and second, it has to collect reserve food material yolk. So in human being, what happens? At the time of childbirth, a girl has about 5 lakh cells which are called primordial follicle. They can give rise to a mature ovum. But in this journey, they just take food from surrounding cells, get enlarged. In this journey, some of the developing follicles die in the journey. They are called atretic follicle. Then they enlarge to form oogonia. Oogonia is diploid. Oogonia forms primary oocyte. Primary oocyte is also diploid. Details of the gametogenesis we will study during embryology. Interesting thing is that primary spermatocyte undergoes first meiotic division to form a secondary oocyte and a very small polar body which separates half of the genetic material but no food material. All the food material yolk is retained inside the secondary oocyte. Again, second meiotic division continues, prophase, metaphase, but at metaphase the development is stopped because the pole making centriole is lost. Further development of this will take place only at the time of fertilization. Here in the developing follicle, by the metabolism, some waste material is collected around it in a fluid filled cavity called antrum. All these changes are controlled by FSH of anterior pituitary. Then the role of LH comes. The covering of theca internal cells of this Graafian follicle, they secrete estrogen. This fully developed structure, on the name of its discoverer, it is called mature Graafian follicle. After that, it comes near the surface. LH hormone, luteinizing hormone of the anterior pituitary, takes part. It causes ovulation, in which the metaphase stage of secondary oocyte comes out. Further, the LH also stimulates change of remaining cells of Graafian follicle into a yellow colored endocrine gland called corpus luteum. Prolactin hormone stimulates this corpus luteum for secreting progesterone hormone. Corpus luteum secretes progesterone hormone and small traces of estrogen also. Now what happens? There are two fates of this corpus luteum. If after ovulation the ovum is fertilized and it starts dividing, develop up to the blastula stage, then corpus luteum prepares the uterine epithelium for attachment of the embryo, blastula stage embryo, with the uterine wall. The process is called implantation. It takes place on Earth day after fertilization, and the next day placenta formation starts. Now a very interesting thing is that you know that if there is a cut in my finger, your finger is cut and attached to my body will not accept it. It will not accept any foreign body. So a developing child, which is also half of the genetic material of father, half of the genetic material of the mother, it is a foreign body for the mother. So in normal course, the uterus of mother will not accept this blastula stage embryo. Only on the eighth day, the surface of uterus is prepared by the action of progesterone hormone. Blood vessels develop, they become secretory in nature. So if a blastula stage embryo attaches with the uterine wall on the eighth day, it continues and pregnancy starts. This corpus luteum will remain functional up to 3 months of the pregnancy. After that, placenta itself starts forming much of the hormones. Interesting thing is that if there is no fertilization, no blastula stage of embryo, that preparation of uterine epithelium by the stimulation of progesterone of the corpus luteum hormone becomes useless, and corpus luteum is intimated that this blastula has not come. So what will happen? All the preparation of the uterine epithelium becomes useless, and all the hormonal preparation, they are withdrawn. They fail to support the uterine epithelium. So what happens? It causes bit by bit sloughing of the uterine epithelium. Later on it heals up, which causes the menstrual bleeding. So this is the role of ovary. Now let us see the complete structure of the female sex organs. Now this is the front view of the female sex organ of a human being. Here the two ovaries which release the ovum. As here the mother has to nourish the developing child for 9 months. The oviduct is very much modified into different parts, and the parts of oviduct are vagina, uterus, and the fallopian tube, on the name of its discoverer, Fallopius. In the fallopian tube also there is an oviductal funnel here near the ovary, a small thin duct called ampulla, a slightly thicker duct called isthmus, and then the uterus. Now a very interesting thing is that this fallopian tube has to perform 3 different functions, and for that 3 different types of cilia develop by the action of estrogen hormone. It has been observed electron microscopically that there are 3 different types of cilia. So first of all, some of the cilia help in the transfer of ovum from this oviductal funnel. Oviductal funnel is ciliated and it clings with the ovum. Then its ovum transferred up to this part, the middle part of the ampulla and isthmus, which is called AIJ or ampullary isthmic junction. Now ovum waits here for the sperm. On the other hand, another group of cilia beats in such a fashion that they help in bringing this sperm from the vagina up to this AIJ. And when both meet, fertilized, a zygote is formed, then again cleavage starts and it starts moving in this direction. So a third type of cilia are there which help in moving the embryo towards this side. And till it reaches in the uterus, 8 days are passed, it has developed up to the level of blastula, having the surrounding trophoblast cells in the inner cell mass. Now for 24 hours, this uterine epithelium becomes susceptible for attachment by the action of progesterone hormone. So on the 8th day, this blastula stage embryo attaches with the uterine wall. If blastula which come earlier to that time, or later to that time, it will not be accepted by the uterine epithelium, it will go out. So during that 24-hour period, this blastocyst embryo attaches with the uterine wall, and then on the 9th day placenta formation takes place. After that, the embryo starts taking nourishment from the mother itself. Now, one more thing. In mammals, two types of reproductive cycles are found. In mammals other than primates, a estrous cycle is there. And estrous cycle is for this thing that whenever a mature ovum comes into the fallopian tube for 24 hours, only at that time a female will accept a male and accept the sperm cells, and fertilization will take place. Before that and after that, when an ovum is not there, a female individual mammal will not accept a male individual at all. In primates, rather anthropoid apes, monkey, apes and human being, another type of estrous cycle is found, which is called menstrual cycle. And it is, as I have already told you, that just after fertilization, a corpus luteum is formed. Corpus luteum prepares the uterine epithelium for further implantation and further pregnancy. So, in human being and a female, a 28-day cycle is there, which has 4 stages. The first half is the follicular phase, when formation of a Graafian follicle takes place under the influence of FSH hormone of the anterior pituitary, and plus minus 1 on the 14th day ovulation takes place. After that, when corpus luteum is formed and it starts preparing the uterine epithelium for further pregnancy, it is called luteal phase. The level of 4 hormones you can see here. FSH level is high in the follicular phase. In the luteal phase, it drops down. The LH is at low level in the follicular phase. Just before ovulation, there is a peak which is called LH surge, and after that, it remains slightly elevated. The female sex hormone estrogen is more active in the follicular phase, and in the luteal phase its activity drops down. Progesterone hormone activity is less in follicular phase, but in luteal phase its activity is increased. So the uterine epithelium is prepared by the progesterone hormone after ovulation by the corpus luteum. Now there are 2 fates. One, if the blastula has attached, placenta has formed, a pregnancy continues for 9 months. Corpus luteum will remain functional up to 3 months. After that, much responsibility is taken by the placental hormones. If after ovulation, when uterine epithelium is being prepared by the progesterone hormone, in 8th day, if embryo, blastula stage embryo does not enter for implantation, then all this preparation becomes useless. So all these hormonal preparation, progesterone, etc., they are withdrawn, and they fail to support the uterine epithelium, which causes the menstrual bleeding. So it will count it from 1 to 5 days, and 0 to 14 will be follicular phase. 14 plus minus 1 will be the date of ovulation, and 14 to 28 will be the luteal phase. Thank you very much.